NFL 20 Gameplay, episode number 2 on the YouTuber, and we are going to have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Denver Broncos from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in England for the London games. This is in London. So I'll let you listen into Charles Davis and Brandon Gaudin to the call of today's game, and the studio guy, Jonathan Coachman. So until after the game, this has been the YouTuber.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see the former MVP Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons as they match up with the longtime Raven Joe Flacco and his new team, the Denver Broncos. With that, we head across the Atlantic to London. Standing by with the call and maybe a little jet-lagged, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one between the Atlanta Falcons and our home team. With you from the booth, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. CDR matchup here. A couple of teams last year that were really pretty similar. Both under 500. Both missed the playoffs. And they both think that they can turn things around in 2019.
Yeah, how about 2018, though? A case of the haves and the have-nots. In 16-game seasons in the NFL, for the first time last year, no one finished 8-8. Now, you know that in baseball, basketball, other sports, turnarounds can take 3, 4, 5 years. In football, could just be a few months.
Here's Botcher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Broncos head out for their first drive, and at the controls in his first season in the Mile High City, a former Super Bowl champion in Joe Flacco. And in Baltimore, they drafted Lamar Jackson. Eventually, he would take over for Flacco Week 10 a season ago. So Flacco out. Well, the Broncos said, we still think he has some time left in his career. They bring him in for some stability at quarterback, something that they really haven't had in Denver since the departure of Peyton Manning after their victory in Super Bowl 50. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here, up to the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
Well, to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Lindsey, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Setting up to throw, Flacco. He'll find Lindsey here. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker. 4th down. Still leaves him with 4th and short. Any chance you go for it?
It's definitely in the back of my mind. In fact, I've discussed it with my staff all week long, different situations that I may want to go for it. Where's the ball in the field? Do I have confidence in my trigger guy? What am I going to do? I'm also talking about my analytics department. What are the odds? If I don't get it, what's it going to do to me the rest of the game? Personally, I end up taking all that, putting it in my head, and making a decision. And you know me, I'm probably going to go for it.
Wow, you want to make an opening drive statement.
Yes, I do. Once I have the ball and I've got it on the move, I don't want to just give up that easily. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big push.
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Barreling in for the sack, Shelby Harris.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
Second and goal, and the lone man in the backfield is Freeman. Now Ryan. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch, and the Falcons have taken the early lead.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do with good field position. You make the other side pay when you don't have far to go for the score.
On for the extra point, Giorgio Tavecchio. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. Devontae Booker, the 20, 10, and Booker will bust in for a Bronco touchdown. Devontae Booker, 101 yards, and the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking out some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, They had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's a first down and then some, a 32-yard pickup.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016.
Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here, 3rd and a yard. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Well, if you're going to pass on 3rd and 1, you better get a first down if you complete it. They completed it, but no gain.
The aiming point has to be beyond the first down marker where you throw the ball. 3rd and 1, you can't have anything that's even close to the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you run the risk of what we just saw there, not getting the first down.
A 55-yard attempt, normally you'd say well within his range. A little surprised he came up short.
And he knew it immediately, didn't he? They are so calibrated, aren't they? They can tell the touch, the feel. When they put the foot to the ball, whether it's going to be good or not, he knew immediately he didn't have that one.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. Here's Flacco. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Jack Crawford breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
He'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 34.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And here now the defensive starters for Atlanta.
Many people thought Keanu Neal was overdrafted by Atlanta, but they saw his talents and knew that he would fit their scheme perfectly. A hybrid player, can play deep in the secondary as a safety, can drop down into the box and also make a lot of tackles, and at times can stay on the field and serve a linebacker role as well.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Bootleg, Flacco. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 6.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. And he fires one, but incomplete. So now 4th down looming. Remember, these guys went for it on their last drive, but it didn't work out.
Well, even though it didn't work out, I would not be surprised at all if they went ahead and did it again.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Darn right.
So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. This from 42 yards out. And McManus able to put it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Freeman. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. And that's the connection, Ryan, to Jones, that this defense obviously has to key in on.
Certainly feels like they got the party started with that one, doesn't it? And when those two get in sync, it just scares the heck out of defenses because he can hit Julio Jones in a short zone, and he can take it the whole way.
4 yards on the dump-off at second down. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards there and a first down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davison.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
Immediate pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle and, frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. A huge play there for Denver. 54 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who signaled down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
Let's go.
Matt Ryan and the Falcon offense set to get going again. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point. They'll throw down the field, caught by his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender. Made him
What do you mean by that, bro?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Mohamed Sanu is a guy that is often overlooked because he just quietly goes about his business. But how about last season? Had a career-high 838 yards on 66 catches, and he can also play Wildcat quarterback for you as well.
It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face a third down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Set to start another drive, Joe Flacco and the Broncos. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. On third down, here's Lindsey. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll try and run forward Janovich. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
I don't care what he's listed in the program. Fullback, running back, tailback, it doesn't matter. He ran that play like a fullback. Just like the old days when we saw the fullback dive. How about him picking that one up?
Oh, they needed a yard on 4th down. That's what he's there for, right?
Exactly. Line him up, short yardage situation, and say, here it is, big man. Go get it.
Flacco leaves to Lindsey on the draw. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams as they've already made their way back out of the locker room. So to bring you the story of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. And, Charles, they only needed a yard there. They try to pass the football. What do you think?
Well, I can't really go all out and kill them for the call because that 3rd and 1 fake and throw it over the top for a big play, that often does work. But in this situation, the pressure got to him.
And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
from the 31. Flacco trying to lay one up deep. That's caught inside the 20. And mark him down all the way inside the Atlanta 20. A huge play there for Denver. 52 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Give them maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Well, they had that one sniffed down. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else. They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run here with Freeman. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on 2nd and goal. A break from the ground game here. Flacco. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll try to run with Lindsey. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? True. You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into 1st down and then some. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe they'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Ryan. That's complete to his tight end, Paulson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. The left side completion to Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards there, 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack by Todd Davis.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Matt Ryan trying to lead the Falcons from behind. Last year in 16 starts, just 1 4th-quarter comeback for the QB. Another try after the 1st down sack. Ryan, that's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. From 8 yards out, and the Falcons are an extra point away from having the lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understand. Who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. A 10-play drive that time. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch.
This is caught inside the 15. A huge play there for Denver. 61 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
The question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll run with Lindsey. And Lindsey is going to get in for a Denver touchdown. It's a 10-yard touchdown run, and the Broncos have retaken the lead. Well, that was a quick hitter drive. They had the huge play to get him down near the goal line, and then they run it in. I don't know that the defense ever had a chance to catch their breath.
A lot of the time now, when we see people hit big plays, and each team defines a big play their own way, 10, 15-yard gains. In this case, it was a huge gain. They often want to hurry up and go right away. Keep the momentum. The play resulted in pay dirt.
So they elect to pass there on the two-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And
he'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. That's returnable for Craycraft. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Joe Flacco here. We get a peek at what he's done so far in this game. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
And he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Flacco now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now with the play clock winding down, Vance Joseph says, let's talk this over. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They go back to the ground now with Lindsey. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling, and this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Lindsey. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
It's an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So that's what you almost never see at this level. A wobbler from very short range, and it winds up no good.
All right, Brandon, if he slipped or someone got a hand on it, then I can understand it, but it's almost like you heard a whistle or something that stopped his swing. A very strange result, especially for an NFL kicker.
He'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Back to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver or tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Ryan. Throw left side complete. That's Jones. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons. Obviously a big 1st down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they got to continue to move quickly. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Will Parks. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Another run by Lindsey. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. This to make it a 2-score game. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, they've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. So Ryan and the Falcons down 24-14. A little over a minute to go. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The sack there by Bradley Chubb. Clock running and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed is me going to the concession stand outside of your eyesight and getting it done that way. Look, I mean, they were serving the good stuff. I had to do it.
Oh, man, but you're svelte, in good shape, but yeah, you cheated a little bit. We'll let it slide.
I appreciate that. Always a pleasure to work with you.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say cheerio.
And welcome back. I'm the YouTuber here, and we have concluded today's game between the Atlanta Falcons and Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos are the winners here in this preseason game 1 from London, England. That's our only preseason game from London, since we couldn't play it from the Hall of Fame team. We had to play from London, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So until tomorrow for Madden NFL Football with Fresh Our Renegade for the conclusion of week number 0. That'll do it. Until next time. Keep on doing everybody, and we'll see y'all next time.